Jimmy Carter, 2019.
Russia has been proven by our intelligence community to have interfered with one of our human rights, which is the right of free and fair elections.
I'm sorry, what?
What's your reaction? How should we deal with Russia?
Well, the president himself should condemn it, admit that it happened, which I think 16 of the intelligence agencies have already agreed to say. And there's no doubt that the Russians did interfere in the election. And I think the interference, although not yet quantified, if fully investigated, would show that Trump didn't actually win the election in 2016. He lost the election, and he was put into office because the Russians interfered on his behalf.
So do you believe President Trump is an illegitimate president?
Based on what I just said, which I can't retract, I'll say yes.
I'm sorry, what? Isn't this a threat to democracy? Anyway, here's how Trump responded.
Yesterday, former President Jimmy Carter suggested that your presidency is illegitimate and that you only got the White House with help from Russia. Your reaction to that, sir?
Russia. Isn't it crazy? Okay, Jimmy Carter, look, he was a nice man. He was a terrible president. He's a Democrat, and it's a typical talking point. He's loyal to the Democrats, and I guess you should be. But as everybody now understands, I won not because of Russia, not because of anybody but myself. He's been trashed within his own party. He's been badly trashed. I felt badly for it because you look over the years, his party has virtually, he's like the forgotten president. And I understand why they say that. He was not a good president. Look at what happened with Iran. That was a disaster. What Iran did to him, they tied him up in knots.
This got me wondering if Carter attended Trump's 2016 inauguration, and yep, there he is. In 2018, Carter said that he'd been praying for Trump.
I pray that he'll be a good president and that he'll keep our country at peace and that he'll refrain from using nuclear weapons and that he will promote human rights. So, yeah, pray for him.
Yeah. In 2024, a bizarre saga saw people hoping he would live long enough to fulfill his dream of voting for Kamala Harris.
In a recent interview, his grandson, Jason Carter, says the former president told his son Chip this week, quote, "I'm only trying to make it to vote for Kamala Harris."
Former President Jimmy Carter has cast his ballot in the upcoming election. Family members say he voted by mail using an absentee ballot today. Carter just celebrated his 100th birthday on the 1st of this month.
Georgia's own President Jimmy Carter voted early. Bless him. Just days after his 100th birthday. So look, if Jimmy Carter can vote early, you can too.
I know, sorry I had to show you her again. Seemingly as some kind of inspirational push for people to vote for Kamala, Carter was wheeled out after his 100th birthday. And my God, why? Why would they do this? I guess after playing this sort of game with Joe Biden as president for 4 years, they weren't able to sense the inherent indignity of doing this. Holy f***. After Carter's passing, Trump took the high road and announced he'd be attending the funeral.
You plan to go to President Carter's funeral?
I do. I'll be there. We were invited.
Mr. Trump was a critic of Carter during the campaign, using the rise of inflation rates in the 1970s to compare President Joe Biden to Carter's time in office. But after Carter's passing, Trump posted that the nation owed him a debt of gratitude.